My name is Meredith. I am a 27-year-old office worker. I met my husband, Felipe, at a May party for single people. Felipe is an elite guy who works for a major company, and he's so good looking that he's always surrounded by women. He's also very easy on the eyes, and many are interested in him at that matter. When I went to the matchmaking party, all the men who were there were all good looking, and it was a high level party. That's when Philippe approached me for my contact information. After a few more dates to get to know each other better, we started officially dating. After 6 months of dating, Philippe proposed to me, so I said yes. At our wedding, my friends and colleagues were all envious of me because Phil was such a handsome guy and was successful in his work and had a very good income. I even thought that God had gifted for my happiness since I am just leading such mediocre life. I'm just an ordinary woman with average grades, normal appearance, graduated from an average university and worked in a normal company. I would just do my normal job and live my normal days in my normal life. So I really didn't understand why Philippe was attracted to me, even though we were dating or even after we tied the knot. But I couldn't ask him why he was attracted to me because I was afraid that the question would bother him, and I didn't want to think I was annoying. When we were dating, Philippe was kind to me. He took the initiative in deciding where to go on dates, and he was dependable. He knew a lot of restaurants and had many good places where he could take her. Since he works for a major company and has good earnings, he will take me to very high-end, luxurious restaurants and buy me many expensive gifts, such as branded handbags. Also, my parents' in-laws gave me the impression of them being a very classy household. My parents' in-law, Nathaniel and Scarlett, lived in their parents' house, and when I visited before our wedding, every room was filled with family members. So I was half expecting that I would spend happy days if I got married to Felipe, and the other half wondering whether it would be suitable for such a marriage. While I had that thought in my mind, married, we did our wedding ceremony, and we started our life together as a married couple. Philippe told me that I didn't have my job, so I decided to continue with my studies. I wanted to save money for when we had children in the future. Life as a married couple was good at. Every morning, I woke up early to make lunch boxes for my husband and prepare breakfast. Then, when I got home from work, I some light household chores and pray dinner. I made sure that I was ready when Mike came home so that he could choose taking a bath or having dinner. I thought I was doing a pretty good job balancing my work life and my private life. Then, about 2 weeks after we started our life together as a married couple, my husband suddenly called me into his office to talk to me.
Oh, what is it, honey? What do you want to talk about?
About the household chores? Car on it more differently?
What?
It is not quite right.
What do you mean?
I didn't understand what he was trying to tell me. I thought I had done everything right on my own, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with it.
Oh, you don't get it. I see. Well then, I will explain it one by. First, why do you only eat frozen foods for breakfast?
It's because that's very efficient, delicious.
See, that is the problem. I don't think it's delicious, and you think of efficiency.
What are you saying?
To begin with, for breakfast, I would have something nutritious, rather than food that is very junky and not good for you. Every morning, I like to eat a salad, soup, and cooked meat, followed by fruit for dessert.
Oh, I see.
And for my lunch, I'd like a variety. Every day, it's just the same old peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I am getting kind of tired of it.
I'm sorry. Since I work too, I tend to make sandwiches to make it easier for me to prepare.
I don't care what kind of work you do.
What?
Meredith, what do you suggest I prioritize in taking care of myself and my health? Essentially, we can live off my salary because I do have high earnings. So you shouldn't put too much effort into your job. You should just enjoy it as if it were your own business. If you neglect the household chores, I'll make you quit your job.
Oh, no way.
Oh well, look at the time. I have going. That's fine. We can continue our conversation after you get back from work today, okay?
There's more to this conversation. Because of this conversation, I was very exhausted from the morning. But in any case, I had no idea that my husband was so dissatisfied with me. At that time, I still didn't understand Felipe was just a moral harasser. I obeyed to him as he demanded. This made household chores very difficult to balance with work. Whenever I was a little late because of the household chores, Felipe would get very angry with me and scold me.
Sigh. How many times do I have to say this? I didn't think you were this bad at remembering. Do you want me to abandon you?
In hindsight, I should have realized leaving him at that point, but Philly brainwashed me into thinking that I was completely at fault, and it was all my fault. And there was someone else who came into my life that thought I wasn't good enough besides my husband. It was my mother-in-law, Sophia. Sophia often came to our house on holidays, and she had the same kind of morally harassing temperament as Felipe.
Meredith, would you make me a cup?
Yes, sure thing, Sophia. What?
Hold on. What on earth are you trying to do?
I was just trying to make tea.
I've never seen the way you brew tea before. I guess you were not taught how to tea and the manners of it.
I'm sorry.
Meredith, what can you do about it? Mother, Meredith is not much of a housekeeper, so I had to teach her from zero.
Oh my, is that true, Meredith? Please don't put too much burden on since he is already very busy and...
I'm sorry.
Oh, but I'm not mad at you for being incapable, Meredith. There are so many people out there incapable of doing things just like don't you worry. The important thing is to try to try to be better. You just have to realize that you're enough first so that you will be at the things what we tell you to do.
Is there anything else you would like to know?
Even though something was brewing in the back of my mind, I had already been brainwashed by Felipe and Sophia, so I stopped thinking about it. So, year passed quickly in our mare. I became pregnant with a child. Later, a healthy baby girl was born. My daughter, Claudia, was really cute and became a precious treasure for me. During the days when my husband and mother-in-law were mercilessly abusing me, the only time I could truly relax was when I saw Claudia innocently smiling at me. Since then, my daughter has grown up fast. Since September, she started going elementary school and was very enjoy life at elementary school every day. One of the weekends when Felipe had off from work, Claudia was drawing.
Felipe looked at her drawing and said, "What's that? You suck at drawing."
Claudia was startled and began to see. She was suddenly told such a cold thing.
When Claudia started to cry, Philly turned to me and said, "What a pain in the ass. Hey, you, what kind of discipline is your daughter in? Claudia is making me look like I am Guy."
Then, at that time, I have realized important thing. I was the only one who could protect myself from this moral harasser.
Felipe, you are the bad guy here. I'm saying that it's your fault she's crying because you told her drawing was bad.
You're just my wife, and you accuse me that this is my fault?
I have accepted everything you told me since the beginning of our marriage, without any questioning, but I will not tolerate your moral harassment.
Moral harassment? You are out of your line, Meredith. I don't want and need a wife like you. Get out of my house and leave with the child.
This prompted me to leave Philippe Claudia and return to my parents. As soon as I returned home, Philip me the divorce papers. I was surprised that it would be so easy, but I didn't want my child to be raised by such a father anymore. So I signed and submitted the divorce papers. After the divorce was finalized, I hired a lawyer to break down how much I would have to pay in child support until she reached adulthood, and also requested child support from my ex-wife. As for visitation, we agreed that C would not see Felipa unless my daughter wanted to see him. Well, Philippe seemed to not care for it as much anyway. The divorce completely cut me off from Felipe, and I had nothing to do with him anymore. From then on, I stayed with my parents, who were asked by Claudia's parents to look after her while they worked hard. Then one day, my ex-husband and ex-mother-in-law suddenly came to my parents' house without permission. There was no more to talk about Philippe nor Sophie. We were puzzled, not knowing why they had visited us there.
As my father asked them, Jay, Phillips, and Sophia put on the living room table.
Look at this. Meredith, were you cheating on me or having an affair behind my back with a man?
What are you talking about?
Don't you dare pretend that you don't know what we are talking about. This photo was delivered to our house in the blue.
The photograph showed me entering a room with another man who had his arm around my shoulder, who I have never seen my entire life.
This picture was taken before we got divorced. That means you were having an affair while still being a married couple.
Wait a minute. I don't remember any of this. This photo is fabricated.
You think you can get away with that?
I'm going to compensate you for all your hard work.
Why should I even pay alimony after being falsely accused like this?
Well, since I'm not a monster, I'm willing to waive alimony and exclude me not paying the child support for anymore. Ona.
When Philippe said that, I had an epiphany and realized what was happening. Felipe and Sophia teamed up to create a fake evidence that I was having an affair so that Philippe wouldn't have to pay Claudia's child support anymore.
Hey, what are you going to do about Meredith? 1A.
You better admit your guilt and doing soon. You might get the cold shoulder from neighbors and coworkers in the near.
What do you mean by that?
I have shown this photo to your friends and colleagues and told them that I did, that you were having an affair with her back.
They were all surprised that you... Such a thing, Meredith.
What a horrible thing you did. Why would you do such horrible thing?
When you do something wrong, you should be punished, shouldn't you?
I told you and have been telling you that I haven't had any affair.
Well, I have the proof, and you're denying it. Whatever. If you're not going to do anything about this, I'll have my lawyer contact your lawyer so that you can lawyer up.
After they said that, Philippe and left our house.
But I'm not sure if it's a good idea to use this method. I didn't do such a thing.
As I had my head down in shock, my warmly patted me on the shoulder.
Don't worry, Meredith. Let me help you handle this situation. I'll take care of it.
Father, why have you forsaken me?
After he spoke to me, he grabbed his dial and started to talk with some phone. Within the same week, things took an abrupt turn.
Here. This is the original photo. That picture of you with another Ma, a fabricated photo after all.
What? How did you get this photo?
My father asked one of his friends, who was an investigator, to investigate this fake photo. My father specifically requested that his friend investigate the guy who was involved with me, especially. The investigator informed my father that the man in the photo was a star player, and he gave me the original photo instead of the fabricated one. The investigator told my father that was having an affair and that his W taken the picture.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Why would Philippe have such a phobia?
So I asked him to continue his investigation, and he told me something interesting. It seems that the wife of this man had an affair with him, and she's a friend of your ex-sister-in-law, Chloe.
Then I will be able to use it in my work.
Yes, that is correct. In short, Philippe got the photo from his sister and fabricated it as evidence of Meredith's infidelity, which is the basis for his claim that he was entitled to a share of her estate.
I can't believe this. If Philippe doesn't apologize, he's an ass.
I decided to file a lawsuit for defamation, compiling all the evidence my father's investigator friend had collected and searched. Then I sent a certified letter to my ex-husband's workplace, my ex-mother-in-law's part-time job, and my ex-sister-in-law's workplace. Sure enough, Philippe called me.
Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing sending a certified letter to my office, Meredith?
If you guys hadn't tried to trick me with your dirty tricks, I wouldn't have done such things to you. You deserve this.
Well, I actually didn't know about it. I truly, really thought that you were an affair behind my back.
Then, who was the mastermind behind this trick?
Mother was the one who showed me the photograph.
Is that so?
Since you sent me that content letter, all of my coworkers and bosses are giving me the cold shoulder.
Oh, the letter I wrote about your harassment?
Yes, that is the one. Because of that letter, my boss is having issues.
But that is the truth. I have no other explanation for your behavior than that you are a moral harasser. I am just informing the real truth.
But, Meredith,
Well, good luck trying to win back trust from your colleagues and boss.
As I hung up on Phillips, I told him off. It felt good to get back at my ex in some small way. As for my ex-mother-in-law, Sophia, ex-sister-in-law, Chloe, it seems that they are seen by their colleagues as cheats who fabricate the truth and give themselves credit for others' work. Sophia and Chloe feel very confident. And as for Chloe, she has been abandoned by her friends after it was discovered that Chloe had taken the pictures of the phone and opened it without permission. Well, she got what she deserved. On the other hand, since Philippa showed the fabricated photos, I have been misunderstood by people at work and in my neighborhood. But when the news got out that the which was shown to them were fabric, they have been rather kind to me as a V-fabricator. My daughter, Claudia, is growing up nicely and happily goes to school every day. I will continue to work hard and ear while watching her grow up. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to my channel and like button if you enjoyed my story. See you in the next video.